The question says an ion of calcium has a symbol calcium +2 as you see on the screen. The question is deduce the number of electron and neutron in this ion. Alright, let me explain first that in any symbol of the element there are two numbers written. One is the subscript, the other is the superscript. Here in the calcium the subscript is 20 and the superscript is 44. So the smaller number is always atomic number, which is the number of proton, and proton is always equal to electron in a neutral atom. Mind it, in a neutral atom the number of proton is equal to electron, but as we see it is an ion and it is a positive ion, it means it is having 2 electron less than the number of protons. So of course we know that 20 minus 2 is 18, so the number of electron is 18. And number of neutron is the atomic mass minus atomic number, which is 44 minus 20 comes out to be 22. So the number of neutrons will be 22. The next question is from, again it is, they are asking you to calculate the number of electron and neutron in a lead ion. You will use the same technique which I have used for the previous question. Please follow the instructions, solve it yourself and share the answer in the comment box. I will check and then I will answer if you are right or wrong. Alright, the next question says the diagram shows the part of the periodic table. Here it is, in the group 1 there is lithium, in group 2 there is calcium, and in group 7 there is chlorine. Which element has the highest proton number and which element has the largest number of the valence electron? Alright, here you will take out the periodic table and you will see that what is the proton number of these elements and to which group they belong to, because we know that number of valence electron is always equal to the group number. Here chlorine belongs to the 7th group, so of course chlorine is the answer for the valence electron, which is the largest number of valence electron because it is belonging to the 7th group, so it will have 7 valence electrons. And what would be the highest proton number in the periodic table? As we see, calcium is having the highest proton number, which is 20. So bravo is the answer for this question because calcium is the highest proton number and the highest number of valence electron is chlorine. Alright, so next question is, a lump of element X can be cut by a knife. During its reaction with water, X floats and melts. What is X? As we know that group 1 element are very soft, because in their physical properties we have studied that they are very soft, that they can be cut with the knife just like butter. And if you're talking about the chemical properties, we know that group 1 elements are aggressively and vigorously reacting with water, that it is an exothermic reaction. When the group 1 elements are dropped into the water, they have very low density, so they floats on the water surface and catches fire, so they usually melt. So sodium, or the elements which are belonging to the first group, here in the option we see potassium, which is delta option, which belongs to the first group, so it can be cut with the knife and it floats on the water and it melts. So delta is the correct answer for this question. Next question says, which statement about elements in the periodic table is correct? Our options are, elements at the left side of the periodic table are more metallic than those in the same period near the right hand side. Alright, I always tell my students, when the periodic table is placed in front of you, then your right is the periodic table's right and your left is the periodic table's left. Here if they are talking about the left side of the periodic table have more metals, so that part of the question statement is correct. In the same period near the right side, yes, that's a correct statement, but we are going to read the rest of the options. As I always tell you that even you are very sure that the first option is the correct answer, don't forget to read the rest of the options, because sometimes what students do, they don't read the questions properly, or sometimes they are missing the word not correct in the question. So I always suggest that read all the 4 options. Our bravo option says that element at the top of the group loses electron more readily than those in the same group that are lower in the periodic table. Before I tell you that if this option is wrong or right, let me explain you the group properties. In the groups are of course the vertical columns. In the group, when we are coming from top to the bottom, we know that atomic size increases. When the atomic size increases, the nucleus goes far from the nucleus and the force of attraction decreases as we go down the group. So technically, the elements which are present at the bottom of the group can easily lose electron as compared to those which are present at the top. So this is saying the other way around. The Bravo option says the other way around. So that is the wrong option. Charlie says elements in the same group of the periodic table have the same number of the completed shell of the electron. That is not a correct option because the one which are present at the top are having a completed shell of duplet, and the remaining which are bigger atoms with the more bigger shells are completing the outermost shell with the octet. So that is not a correct option. Delta says elements in the same period of the periodic table have the same number of electrons in the outermost shell. So in the period, what happens? The number of shells remains same, but the number of electrons does change. So that is not a correct option. The number of the electrons in the valence shell increases by 1. So our correct option for this question is alpha. The question is an ion of sodium has the symbol sodium ion with 1123. So you have to deduce the number of proton, neutron, electron. We have done these type of questions many times. So you do it yourself and then write down the answer in the comment section. Our next question is related to the isotopes. 2 isotopes of radon are shown here. Give one similarity in the atomic structure of the 2 isotopes. Before we write the correct answer, you should know the definition of isotopes, that isotopes are the atoms of the same element which have the same number of proton but different number of neutron, or same atomic number but different mass number. So they both are having the same atomic number. So similarity in the atomic structure will be, you will write both the isotopes of radon are having same number of proton. And in the difference you will write they have the different number of neutrons. As they are specifying the atomic structure, so you will not write the properties, you will only write about the number of proton and neutron. The next question is again from the isotopes. Explain why both isotopes have the same chemical properties. As I always tell you that chemical properties are depending upon the number of electron. And both the isotopes show the same number of neutron, and neutron are always equal to electron. So if they are having same number of electrons, they must be having same chemical properties. And the next part of the question is give one difference in the atomic structure. So in the atomic structure, the difference you will write about the different number of neutrons.